everyone, and thank you for being here for another day of me streaming Torchlight Frontiers. We're starting in a moment, just flattening out some rough edges with my gameplay stream. Somehow it's not being picked. Just a moment to try and re-add the game capture source. Okay, that's interesting. It should have been working. It was working without an issue yesterday. Now it isn't. Let me try and restart the game. See if that would change. Okay, now that changed things, but I don't know why it wasn't early. So, what was I doing yesterday? I was grinding a lot, got some good drops, got some fun chats and talks with the viewers. So let's try to do the same today. Just farm on the mage, farm on the Railmaster and keep it rolling. Keep swapping around in between the two characters, changing the different frontiers. That's the plan, so without further ado, let's start maybe by doing some high-bit maps on the mage, because my warding and login screen was already on it. Let's go to my fort quickly, just gonna check if there's anything I can sell.
Got a fresh shipment of goods. See you next time.
Seems to be all good. Talk to General Grey. Where? This was the fast loading this time. Okay, before I start doing anything, I wanna fix this missing Missing pavement patch that I deleted by accident yesterday. Salt structure and blade. I'm not sure how it was placed before, but let's do something like this. That might have been it before. So what maps have I gotten this go? Okay, let me craft some, just to get rid of some gold. So I'm gonna craft a few of each frontier.
Crafting completed.
Let's keep the craft going. Oh, and I had to pick some
Crafting
stuff
complete.
up. I remembered I had to pick Lito stat or something. This was, I think, the one I needed to pick up. Might have been this one, no. Let's keep crafting while I'm sorting my inventory. So I need to check. I got this with a lot of damage. So the best Lito stat I could get would surely be an upgrade. This also gives a lot of damage, but it's not poison.
Your crafted item is ready.
9.6 crit chance. And this is 10.9 crit chance. And just 200 damage difference. I'm gonna lose a bit of crit damage, but this seems better option. And what about the other Wogi one I've got? This one was 9.5 as well. I'm trying to do is I'm trying to put some order in this stuff here. Let me keep crafting in the meantime. This
Crafting
might actually
complete.
be better. Ah, no, it's not.
craft is ready to be picked up.
Let's do some goblin map in the crafting queue.
Item crafting is complete.
Let's keep crafting.
Item has finished crafting.
Really wanted to sort this storage space because it's a complete mess now.
Your crafted item is ready.
don't even think I need this. I'll save it for an out or something. I'm sorry for this, but I should have done it sooner. But I guess now it's the time when I just felt like doing that. Seems like everything almost is completed. Okay, I think everything's sorted now. Got a poison shield here. Actually, I don't need this poison shield. I've got this poison shield in case I need one. I've got this for physical. And what have I got for... I need to have a good goblin defense. There's one of those shields that I should probably carry with. Maybe not. I mean, I really need to find a poison shield. And if that's the best one I've got, then that's not good. Let me check my work. Got an offhand. Okay, I guess I could try and do without poison. So let's just get rid of this shoulder, I guess. Let's get rid of this shield. This I would need. This is the best I've got as a poison shield. I don't need those. All of the stuff I'm deleting I was saving for my Wobi, but I guess you have to do without some blue gear when I'm leveling. So now we're done. We've got a lot of inventory room. And this was the goal of this thing. I should have crafted more maps. Let me just craft a few more. What do we got? 5, 6, 7 Hivit maps and 5 Goblin maps. Okay, let's make it 7 Hivit.
Crafting complete.
So my money is down to 13,000. This is mainly what I was trying to achieve here. Just get my money down and sort my inventory in the process.
Crafted item is now complete.
Okay, so now we are ready to go. I'm gonna do a few Hivit maps first. So half an hour in and I haven't done a single dungeon. Yeah, that's a bit of a slow mode. But it's Sunday, it's early. It's still lunchtime. layout did we get Chaos Secrets? That's the junction map.
You need more mana.
You can probably run the maps back to back without returning to the That's majorly why I was trying to craft many maps at the same time. Oh, the main reason was getting rid of some of the extra gold I had, but the secondary reason was so I can do some back-to-back run. Oh, and this relic weapon I'm leveling up at the moment is now 48. I'm gonna try and level up all my relic weapons that I got crafted to 50 as I'm farming those few days. And maybe while I'm doing White Vault I might get some member cores while I'm doing the Goblin Frontier.
Insufficient mana.
I probably should do some runs of the Hivit Frontier boss for some poison cores to craft some extra stuffs. Because I only have one Bane stuff at the moment. I might probably want to craft one more for the other frontier and maybe some for the other characters to be able to try out, but worst case I'll just keep swapping my relic weapons in between the characters via the relic weapon storage. So as long as I have one from each frontier of each relic weapon, I should be okay. The easy one to get is the Ember Core for the Flaming Destroyer, because you can do the boss while during map works. As for the other bosses, they don't appear during mapworks encounters. Maybe the Wifebound one, not Wifebound, but this one, the Wood Drinker, I think it can also be farmed during mapworks, but the Bane, the Kronk boss that drops the Poison Core, does not appear in the Hive mapworks, so this is the tricky one to get. You just have to farm the Wolver boss
Insufficient mana.
in the public areas dungeon. I'll try not to pick up white trash, just so I don't get my inventory full with gold.
I heard that launch will be in 2020, not this year. See.
Really?
BTW hot.
Hi dude, hi AoCard 993. And where did you hear that? And when? Because if they decided to delay to 2020, that's not bad. That means we're gonna get a better and more polished game. Maybe in 2019 we can see an open beta or a closed beta by the end of this year. And the launch could be early 2020.
On Polar's site I read an article.
Okay. Because when I look it up it always says 2019. But I don't know, maybe we have to keep asking
Yeah, early
during the
2020.
I'm assuming Q1, maybe Q2, depending, but Q1 2020 is okay. Between March and June is where I think is the launch should be, but you never know. If that's officially confirmed, this is kind of good news. Because the silver lining is we're gonna get a better and more polished game by the time it's released.
Ectra said 2019, but they have too many to do, so I think that they will get exhausted.
And it's not just about getting exhausted, the thing is they might get pressured by the publisher to release early. It depends whether the publisher would really want the game released early, or whether they could allow them some extra time. See, they can do a soft launch. Open beta is always counted as a soft launch, because that means you're opening your servers to everyone and letting the Kraken in. So if they wanna do an open beta soft launch like around winter time, that probably would be okay, but people would have to know they're playing a beta, not a
Well,
full
I want
launch.
it now XD.
Yeah, I personally can't imagine myself enjoying the other ARPGs as much as this. Although Titan Quest released a new expansion, and I haven't played the game for so long. I haven't played either of the two expansions that Titan Quest has, and I was thinking of downloading the game and giving it a go over the next few days. But probably the progression would be very slow there, so it might take me a while to have a build worth doing the expansions. But I might decide and try it out, because the new expansion is upgrading to DirectX 11.
You're on max LVLATM.
Yes, I am. It's a level 100. I've got 3 heroes that... Well, I've got 5, but 2 are max level, 1 is very low, and the other 2 are mules for just Titan storage. So I've got this one, level 50 plus 50, so 100 total. I've got a Railmaster that's the same. I've got the Forge that's around level 12, 13. So I'll just do back-to-back maps without returning to my fort. I prepared quite a few. If it gets boring, I'll start doing the other frontier, the Goblin frontier. Although there is something that I'm fearing might happen.
But you're
When I do
exping in this
back-to-back
game a
maps,
weapon, right?
yeah, I'm leveling up a weapon, a relic weapon. Relic weapons are weapons you can level up. They gain XP as you farm, as you kill monsters the same way you do. But you don't need a relic weapon above level 50, 51. We'll see how it is. Because usually items, regardless whether it's a relic or not, first of all they get downscaled. So if I'm doing a level 40 high-wit map with level 50 goblin weapon, first thing that would happen is the level 50 goblin weapon would get scaled down to level 40. Then because it's in a high-wit zone, it will get downgraded by another 3 levels as a penalty. So it will be all the way to 37 from 50. So now, just to demonstrate something like this, look at that, this is a level 50 goblin helmet in a level 50 high-wit zone. And it's getting a penalty of 3 levels. So its stats are changing, they're getting downscaled. The good thing is some stats do not get penalty. Like per se this one here with critical chance and critical damage, if I were to go to a low level zone, this would not get downscaled, but the physical damage would get downscaled. And on this one the fire defense gets downscaled, the gearwork gets downscaled, whereas I think the other things do not get. So first you apply the downscaling, then you apply the penalty for the wrong frontier.
What battle pass gives?
the battle pass, or as it's called here, the contract pass or whatever.
Costumes only.
Well, it's not just costumes. Actually, there weren't any costumes at all in the first season. What you could get was decorations for your fort, and at the end, at the max level, level 25 of the fame that you gain, there was a stash.
Insufficient mana.
But let me first explain that there's two things. There's a paid version of it and free version of it. At the moment, everyone gets both the paid and the free versions for free, because we do not have the in-game currency added yet, the cash shop currency. So we're able to get the contracts. I wish I could show you, but the contract ended, so we're waiting for the next season. So first you have the free version that gives you some green, blue items and stuff like that. And this is available to everyone. But in the future they would charge us for the premium version, which would give you some cosmetics for your fort, like buildings
I
and
hope they
things you
want
put in
any
your...
P2W shit.
Not enough mana.
Depends
Add
what you...
asterisk.
Here, this question, when people ask me, I always ask them first what they consider pay to win, so I could answer correctly. So, do you consider stash pays a pay to win system? If you consider stash pays as pay to win system, then maybe the battle pass or the contract might be a bit pay to win, because the first season we got an extra stash tab in the premium section for the last level. And some people consider stashes pay to win, so that's why I was asked. There are no like powerful things. There were some legendary maps, which per se look a green map.
Stash is not P2W.
Exactly. I mean, for some people it is, but for me it is. Some people say selling stashes is selling the people gameplay, the ability to store more items, and so on. For some people, pay for convenience is pay to win. For others, it is. I'm kind of in the middle. I think some pay for convenience is pay to win, but other isn't. So for me, stash space is okay. It's completely normal to sell stash space.
But for example, more tickets for duns.
Well, that was there, but you see, whether it's a map for 20% bonus gear work that you would get yourself by crafting it with gold, or whether there would be 50% gear work map bundle with 5 maps in the what's it called, in the battle pass. For me, this is okay. I don't care whether someone is gaining more gear work by buying the extra bundle. I didn't see much difference when I was doing those maps anyway. The thing is, look at that, I've got 66% gear work. If I go to the Goblin Frontier, that would be even 67%. And with those 20% from this, that means I'm getting like 80 something, almost 90% more items being dropped. So for me it's okay whether it's gonna be someone having extra 30% on top of me. If they wanna pay for it, sure, okay, it's not a competition. You're not doing PvP in this game, so if someone has better items, I don't care. They're not fighting with me. There's no competition like who would hit level 100 first. There's no competition who would get a better item first. It's not like Path of Exile where people are competing for leveling up and stuff like that. There's no races in this game, so extra gear up maps in the store, I'm fine with it. I mean, yeah, it doesn't sound nice selling XP maps or gear work maps.
I guess they won't go for a Gameforge way of shop.
Well, they surely shouldn't go for a Gameforge way of shop, because I've heard bad things about Gameforge. But see, this is not your typical MMO, but it's not even your typical ARPG. It's like a mixture in between. So that's a good thing in a way. It's its own thing, its own system.
You need mana.
They know that if they do, No one
I
will
can
play.
tell you what I suspect they would be
For example,
selling.
Po.
What I can give you as an example for what will be in the cash shop, in the trail board they mentioned transmogs, and the way they describe the transmogs, I'll just copy paste this.
It's totally F2P and you can buy only cosmetics.
Yeah, I know about. Although in Path of Exile buying stashes, you feel forced to buy stashes, and yeah. So this is what I wrote, is a quote from their travel board. Collect looks into a library, apply looks onto a piece of gear, overriding the appearance for that item. So basically, if they sell looks that you put in that library, I would be okay. That's kind of selling cosmetic items. That's like the wardrobe or whatever it's called in Path of Exile, where you get your cosmetic shit. And this is fine. This is something I'm sure they would be monetizing. It's gonna be a missed opportunity not to monetize this. And if they do something similar for the pets, like per se this bird here, like if I can buy a skin that makes it into a griffon or into an eagle or into hippogriff or whatever, just changing the looks without changing the skills, I'm sure many people would want to do that, to just spend money on better skins for their pets. So this is what I'm assuming would be monetized, but I'm speculating, so just take it with a grain of salt.
You need mana.
Well, they need to get profit from the game, I can understand that, but P2W starts when someone is 10 times better than you. Choose he spend a lot of cash.
In this game, no one can be 10 times better than you. Because look, if someone buys a map that gives him 50% gear work, and you're using those ones that you can buy yourself with gold for 20% gear work, the difference is barely noticeable. I've done those 50% gear work maps, and I can tell you that I didn't get a single legendary. Then a few minutes afterwards, I was doing green maps and I got shit tons of legendaries, like 3 in 1 map. So it's pretty much RNG. Maybe this extra gear work helps them get more items, but it doesn't help with getting the rarity. It seems the gear work gives you more chance to get a drop, but not to get a better drop. As for XP, I also wouldn't care if someone pays
Can you
for
buy items
XP
from
maps.
shop from other players?
You cannot trade at all. The best thing that we could get would probably be trading Diablo 3 style, like only trading to the people in your party. I really wish there was trading. I'm a fan of trading in games. I wish there was like Path of Exile type of trading or an auction house, but they probably would never add that. They might add something like Diablo trading from what I've heard, but that's probably far off from now. I'm really looking to see whether Perfect World would screw up this one. I know Extra are with good intentions, but Perfect World might force their hand into some nasty cash shop things. But their policy, I can give you an article where they were explaining
But
about their
something
plan.
like exchange is possible?
For now, no way of exchanging gear in between people is possible. No private trading, no dropping it for someone else to pick up. Let me try and find an article that they're talking about their plans for microtransactions.
Oak just play, I know that they want avoid gold sellers and stuff like that.
I think this was it. And there are some things that are kind of I don't like the way they're worded there.
BRB gonna make a poop. D.
This is the part that I don't like, the way they worded. Or maybe it wasn't this, maybe it was in the bottom part. Or it could have been removed. There was something about that pay to win strategy and stuff. Oh, the first part is kind of. Some people might not like this part. Although I personally am okay with selling XP or gold boost and stuff like that, because that just helps people level up faster and so on. But it's not a race. I don't care if someone levels up before me. I'm just doing my own thing. They're doing their own thing. If someone levels up faster, then that means we can play higher level content faster together. There is no power leveling either. So if level 50 takes a level 20 to a level 50 map, the level 20 would still be getting the same percentage of XP from the mobs that he's getting from level 20 maps. So I'm assuming there will be legendary maps sold in the shop in bundles of 5 that give you, instead of 20-50% gold, instead of 20-50% gearwork. And if they decide to sell XP maps, that might also be there. Because at the moment the game does not have XP maps. There are skill points maps, but the skill points are going away with the next update. And the passive skills are going away as well. So okay, that's gonna be kind of okay for me if they decide to go for such a system. Understand they need profit, and cosmetics is the best thing to get people to dig into people's egos and people's vanity needs. Get them to have crazy skins
I think this
for
game will be
armors and
co-op
pets.
with a hub where you can meet other.
There is already a hub where you can meet other people. There are public zones. Let me show you. After this map, I'll show you. Basically, this is the hub, Imperial Outpost. This is a public zone where it's you and everyone else in that zone. There could be probably different channels or different instances of that public zone to avoid overcrowding. But currently, if you go to one such zone and your buddy goes there, you'll probably be able to see each other. So those are public zones, you can see other people, and they have private dungeons where it's just you and your party. Those are in between the public zones. It's also a public zone, but it's kind of a passageway, just with a waypoint and a random fort. Because everyone has a fort, and when you go to one of those
But dunks you
passageways...
can maximally do with 3 other people?
Yeah, 4 people is the limit of the party. Basically here you have your dude, then you have 1, 2, 3 more people. And next to it, next to the other people, you would see a icon that says fort. Pressing this would teleport you to another person's fort. So if they're doing maps in their fort, like opening the portal there, you would be able to enter the maps that they've opened. You would also be able to enter a map your teammate has opened in a public area. And currently the maps you craft with gold. 250 for the white, 500 gold for the green one. They have not released any blue ones yet, but they've released orange ones in the contracts season the first time. So it's gonna be interesting to see what other ways of gaining those legendary maps will be. They also added
I think
extra
that
relic
open beta
weapons
will be
slots
harder
in
than
the
this game is now, cause you're now on end game.
Yeah, they at first they want to sort out the core gameplay mechanics, like adding more characters, adding more frontiers, adding more enemies, adding more weapons.
You don't have enough mana.
And once this is sorted, they'll probably start thinking of new features like new challenging endgame content. Because currently I'm just doing map works. If you go on the travel board, you can probably see that they're already
I know
planning the
what
next
alpha is
character.
XD.
Yeah, alpha is a phase, as I call it, phase of breaking things and fixing them, and experimenting a lot. And the phase of total reworks of systems. The same is happening with our skill system. Currently you farm those skill points. You see this glowing ball. It gives me skill points. But this will go away, and instead of getting those skills you want and unlocking them from a skill station, we would have a talent tree, like Diablo 2 style talent. If you're interested, I can give you
You
a
will
link to
get
that.
any benefit from being an alpha players?
No benefit, just being able to level up before the others, but that's not a benefit. It doesn't make a difference whether I've got my characters level 100 when someone else starts in beta.
Yeah, it's not.
Check out this doc.
Maybe loot is bigger ATM.
They're thinking of making items, maybe with the relic weapons they could do that, something that's
So you
not
can
game
get
breaking,
relics
but
easier.
it's rule changing. And what I would like to see, instead of getting ore or core, so to say, some cores to craft the relic weapons, I would like to see the relic weapons themselves dropping. I was talking about this yesterday. The whole word relic doesn't fit into something that you craft. It fits like into some long lost artifact that you find, something that has existed for millennia or ages or something like that. So the whole concept of crafting the relic weapons kinda seems that it doesn't fit with me, but that's just me, so... And just a pet peeve on my end. Even if they don't change it, I'll be fine with it. But what I was talking about on a stream in Friday, they noticed, not noticed, but they mentioned that they're trying
Yeah,
to
you
think
have
of...
to create them, but I thought about items to do this relic.
So they're thinking of some way to add items that are not game breaking, but rule changing. So to be rule changing, but still not be breaking the game. So maybe they're thinking of stuff like adding extra projectiles to items or spells, or maybe adding extra. Look at this spike. It has two different rows of spikes. Maybe adding a third row of spikes, something like this. Or maybe changing the behavior completely of a skill. Maybe if they add stuff like that, that could be quite interesting. Maybe they could do another type of items that are not legendary. Although I'm thinking they would use the relic weapons for this thing. This might be decent. Currently the relic weapon, look at that W button.
They
when
won't
I
roll
press
back
it,
your characters after alpha?
there will be no wipes anymore. Alpha 3 is the first alpha phase that removed the NDA, so we can stream and do videos and etc. And also it's stated that there will be no more wipes. I've been playing for a few weeks, I'm a new player in this game. since like April, like 10th or 15th or something like that. So I've been playing for like a month. But there were people who played before that I've talked to, and they said they had few of their characters wiped twice during the Alpha 1 and Alpha 2 phase. So they were kind of bored of leveling all over again. Which is understandable. I'm kind of sick of leveling now, because I leveled this guy to 50-50, and then immediately after that I started leveling to 50-50 on my Railmaster. So I maxed out 2 characters back to back, and now I just want to enjoy farming a bit of endgame content before I start leveling up the Forge hero.
Hope GL gonna play some Dota too.
Good luck, dude. Kick some ass there. And some good stuff. And thank you for being here and joining my stream. It was nice chatting with you. Might Shrine right next to the boss. Couldn't be placed better. Yeah, that extra double damage. It's maybe even more than double damage. Because I think my damage is like 14k without it, and now it's 35.5k. Let's see how much it will change when the Might Shrine expires. It could be 16k without it, but still. Okay, it's... Maybe I need to do this to be able to see. Or maybe it's just wagging. Come on, DPS. Show me the normal one. Oh, it's glitched. Look at that. Crit chance 25. So it's only counting this, this and this. This is a known bug, and the way to fix it is to just do this. And then this 14.5% gets added, so it's 14.5 and this like 20, 30 and 40. And now it's showing me the correct DPS, 14.7k. I'm kinda paranoid when it comes to crit chance, and I keep checking my inventory stats every now and then. Cause now I just did the whole map, not noticing I was losing 14.5 crit chance due to this glitch. Okay, I need to explore 2 more zones in this map. I'll do 1 more map and then I'll go to the other frontier. Do a few maps in the Goblin frontier with this guy, and then I can do the same with the other character. A few on each frontier. I'm just trying to show a bit more variety when and it's also benefiting me, it's not just for the viewers, it's for me as well, just to not be seeing the same type of monsters and dungeons all over. Although what I could do is I could just do 1 frontier until I get a legendary item in that frontier, then swap the frontier until I get some legendary drops in the other frontier, and then swap the hero and do the same. This could be an interesting rule. That way it could be just 1 map in 1 frontier, it could be 5 maps in 1 frontier. It would be fun to do something like this, so we can see how the RNG would work on our side. And this is an abomination of an item. It's probably good in the Hivit frontier because there's goblins here too. But having health on killing a Hivit and on killing a goblin is kind of a no. Okay, let's do 1 more Hivit map. I really think they should frontier walk some of the mods, like health on killing a hive it only dropping on items in the hive with frontier, and health on killing a goblin only dropping on items from the goblin frontier. Seems like a logical way to walk those mods to specific frontier. Okay, and this is something that's kind of annoying sometimes. You're spawning into the map, but it's taking the textures some time to load. The monster and objects like destructible and lootable object textures. I've even had cases when I was killed because they were attacking me, I was taking damage, but I wasn't seeing what was attacking me. So let's give this legendary roulette a go. Once a legendary drops, I'm changing frontier. Once another one drops, I'm changing character.
Your mana is low.
We can do this for the whole day and see how many maps it would take each time before a legendary drops. I should probably try and make a counter sometime just to count the legendary drops for the whole stream. I've seen some people do that on other games. Seems like a cool idea that I might steal, admittedly. So what blue dropped? Digitus. My pet is here, so he's gonna carry some of that game. And as I started saying earlier, Titan Quest released a new expansion, the second one, and I haven't played the game in years. So there's whole 2 expansions I could explore in that game, and it's looking slightly better now. It does feel a lot like Grim Dawn. Of course, Grim Dawn was made by, I think, the people who made Titan Quest, so the game is Grim Dawn is like Titan Quest 2.0 in a way. So I'm a fan of Grim Dawn. I've played it for quite a while, and I'm really looking forward to maybe getting those expansions and to try them out and max out the character there, farm some stuff there. Maybe on my Wednesday stream, when I do variety gameplay, I could try and do some Titan Quest gameplay. I'm
You need more
like
mana.
still unsure how much it would take me to max out the character though, to be able to even do the content in the expansion, because it seems to be endgame content. So I'll need to get to a max level with one character. So that's like 80 something levels or so, I think. I might have to play the first few levels off stream, but it might be fun to show the low level, the whole progress on stream as well, just to have it recorded for people who would want to see that. I did see some videos today and it looked cool. I'm really looking forward to talking to someone who is playing Last Epoch, just to tell me what's good about the game, what isn't. This is the new thing about this genre now. Pagan Online and Wastepo are the current new additions, and I wouldn't mind knowing more about the two games, what the strengths and weaknesses of the games are. Okay, energy shrine, energy shrine. What I liked about Torchlight 2, it had a very good story. The whole progress of completing the game and the campaign of the game was quite nice there. So I'm really hoping this game's story ends up being something similar once they've polished all the quests and all the progression throughout the zones and so on.
Hi, how are you?
Hi Novi, how are you today? I'm fine, thank you for asking. I'm just gonna do something called Legendary Roulette, which is basically I'm doing maps in a certain frontier until a legendary item drops. Then I change the frontier and
Hi
do
all.
the same in the second frontier.
Me too.
Nice, I'm glad you're fine as well. Good to hear that. And hi Angry Pink. And guys, as I was explaining, what I decided to do this weekend, or this day, is like I'm doing Hivit until Hivit Frontier drops me a legendary. Then I'm changing to Goblin Frontier with this hero until I get a legendary there. Once I get legendary in both frontiers from this character, I switch characters and do the same thing. And this is gonna be a nice fun experiment just to see how many maps it takes with each frontier until a legendary drops on each character. And we'll just be repeating that all day today. I wouldn't mind playing with some viewers as well though. It would still count if you're doing the same on Wobby maps. I also don't mind carrying someone in high level maps. They would still be getting XP. Just not too much XP, but still enough. And they'll be getting a lot of max level items. Okay, my mouse was
Hi,
here,
Angry.
my cursor, it was casting there. It's good to see that you guys are active and returning. It's quite nice seeing that. Regulars of the Struck Club. Let's cast that damage buff. There we go. Okay, I think a few monsters are left here. So Legendary Roulette. I probably should put that in the title if there's room for anything else. Seems like many people are starting to wake up now. It's 2 PM at my time zone, but in GMT it's just noon, and in Central European time zone it's probably 1. Well, not probably, surely. So many people were sleeping late today, it seems, like me. I probably slept until like 11 or something. So okay, let's do next map. Keep it going until legendary drops in this frontier. So far we saw a few blues. So now we're putting RNGs to the test. So when we're doing the same content all over again, don't blame me, blame the RNG. That's why I won't be swapping. I think I've done already 4 or 5 maps. Let me see, maybe 4 maps. Maybe this is the 4th. Just a second, I'll check my inventory. So 1, 2, 3, 4 I think. Yeah, this is the 4th map I think.
Your mana is low.
So I'm assuming either this or the next map there will be a drop. We'll actually swap to the next hero then. This is also a nice way to guarantee some wood progression for both heroes, for both frontiers. Really enjoying the freezing and chance to chill on this weapon setup I'm using.
Insufficient mana.
Seems like those two items were meant to be used together. My Digitus and my Focus.
You need mana.
I spent some time today rearranging at the start of the stream, rearranging my inventory, so now I have more room in my bags, so I wouldn't have to open my inventory all the time to give my pet item. So this should probably make the whole mapping process a bit faster due to the decreased number of poses. Okay, let's go up first. I'll be returning, so I'll kill those monsters behind me on my way back.
Your mana is low.
I'll pull these towards here, so while I'm killing the others, it could take some damage as well. I'm doing 60p today, 720 60p. The last few days I was testing 30p, 720. So I'm back to 60p and hopefully it should be okay.
Mana.
And those freezes for a millisecond or so that we're seeing are most likely due to me doing maps back to back without returning to the fort. I've noticed whenever I do that, the game starts using more resources, but it's making my whole mapping faster. So before swapping characters, I might just try and restarting the game. But for now, let's just play on this guy, or gal, so to say, because it's a female character. And before I swap on the Railmaster, I can do a complete game restart to reset the resource cost. We're almost at the boss, but there's one more zone that needs to be cleared in this map, one more section. I'm also leveling up my relic weapons, the ones that were low leveled. And this one is almost 50, the blood drinker that I'm using. I think it's, oh, it's already 50, okay. I should probably, when I return to the fort, when I'm swapping the frontiers or characters, I could probably take a different relic weapon with me. So today we'll be putting the whole drop system to a test. A good experiment, and it's gonna be pretty nice to know the results of that experiment. Whenever this happens, then I know the game needs to be restarted. But this might break my looting spree. I'm not sure if it wouldn't break the whole counter. But you saw what happened earlier, there was like unloaded textures until I shot through them. Usually that's how I get them to force loading the textures. I shoot a projectile. Otherwise I can't progress until it loads the textures of the ground and everything. He spawns right on time, and I use my damage buff. And I think that was it for this map, so maybe it's time to start the next one right away. So far the RNG has been bad. 4 maps, no drop. I come prepared though, I've got a lot of maps, so there's this. Also Twitch approved my 3 subscriber emotes. The LOL XD, the LOL with the tongue out, and what was the other one? Oh, actually the one with the tongue out with misplaced eye pupils, yeah, with tongue out and like crazy tongue out face. And the third one was the drooling face. You can preview those in my description, like under the stream. I'm looking for feedback whether you like those or not. If not, I can try and improve them or change them. Trying to make something that's signature for my channel as chat emotes, something that could help people easily identify that channel. Oh, he was stunwalking me. If I was on my Railmaster, I would have been the one stunwalking instead of him. When I was a newbie, first few levels on the mage, those were my nemesises. I was trying to immediately start DPSing with some high damage skills and just kite them. Cause I had my asses kicked a few times by those chests when I was a wobby. Eventually, as you gain levels, skills and gear, it becomes easy to deal with them.
Your pet has returned. You don't have enough mana.
Oh, there we go, first legendary. Then after this we can restart the game and go in the next frontier. Because I can't port to my fort. Since I'm doing mapception back-to-back maps. That means the port that takes me to my fort wouldn't work. In such high-bit maps, because there's no boss room. We'll see, I'll give it a go. Once I'm done with this map. I missed some monsters here. And is that a Litho stud, by the way? I'm really looking for some Litho stud. Sick Fang warning, and this is Sick Fang warning, but with chance to poison and chance to swow. The chance to swow is kind of a waste, but it might turn out to be better than that one.
Congratulations.
Thanks, dude. For now, I'm trying to get 2 Litho studs, hopefully level 50 Litho studs. If not level 50, at least with good crit chance, over 10% crit chance. At the moment, my pet only has the 10.9 crit chance, but this flat damage from here really helps a crit chance build. If I were to choose what else to use instead of a Litho stud, it would be the flat damage one. Ideally it would be this thing, but instead of chance to immobilize, I would prefer chance to poison. Pets are good. Pets, if you know how to make use of them, are very helpful. Sometimes to keep them alive on some maps that have toxic mod or damage enhanced mod, where your pet would get wrecked all the time. If you can keep it alive, it can be very helpful on bosses. I've had cases where I let my pet solo a boss, an end of map boss, and it just takes him a few hits. Like 4 or 5 hits should be more than enough even for the tough bosses. As long as you can keep him alive for that time and keep yourself alive and close to the boss. Really looking forward to them adding pet skills and hopefully some party buffs to the pets. Buffs that increase the party's crit chance per se would be pretty nice. Like a 30-second cooldown buff that gives you 15 seconds of increased crit chance. That would be quite neat. Or even better, like 60-second cooldown for 30 seconds duration. And increase like the crit chance by 10 or 12% or something like this. This seems like one of the good buffs that you could give a pet. It would incentivize us to keep our pets alive even more. It would be also nice to have some defensive pets that help heal you. It would be good to have a healer pet that heals you and the party. And maybe just healing over time instead of flat pure damage heal. The game's performance is dropping, so I really could benefit from a restart of the game. So after this map, before we swap the frontiers, I will really do a game restart to avoid all those freezes. I was suspecting it would happen, this thing, when I started doing the maps back to back without going to the fort after each map. I don't know why it's happening, but every time I do that, the game starts performing badly. I should probably try and talk over Discord to one of the devs, or maybe post a thread on the forums to have them check whether the game uses more resources when something like this is done, or whether it's just on my end. Let's quickly finish them up then. Oh, where did those come from? They weren't here earlier. I think they came from this trunk. I came from here, so let's keep going forward. Next patch is supposedly fixing some rubber banding issues as well. So they're gonna be doing some netcode updates, I guess.
You can't carry anymore.
Okay, time to... Oops! Accidentally put that there. Should be almost at the boss. Okay, boss done. I'm just gonna kill whatever's left over. If he's running away, I can just snipe him with this skip. Oh, one more unique monster. It's worth coming here, 2 unique monsters that I could have missed. Okay, now let me quickly restart the game, and then we can do the next frontier. Okay. That should get rid of all those freezes. Let me quickly, while it's loading, I'll just start porting to my fort. And while it's loading, I'll take a minute for bathroom break. It's the best time to do that now. It's just gotta run quickly to the waypoint first. As you can see, this is glitchy until it's loading. Okay, be right back. One. Oh, I'm back, but my fort doesn't seem to be loading yet. Let's just give it some time to load. And to avoid having to restart the game again, maybe we shouldn't do the maps in back to back. So I'll have to be coming to the town after each map to my fort. I can probably keep this for my Railmaster. Oh. But actually it's a mage shoulder, my Railmaster won't be able to wear it. Okay, let's start the next map. Goblin Village.
Your crafted item is ready. You need mana.
Okay, there's no monsters coming from that end there. Interesting, why? Oh, that's why it's night time, skeleton time. So most spawns would be either empty or just a few skeletons in there. In the official stream on Friday, they said that they're changing this animation where the goat is swirling around you. As Anthony called it, goat dervishes. So it's gonna get changed to something less unrealistic, I guess, or I don't know. I personally like that animation, I don't mind it. I don't pay much attention to it, but some people found it annoying, it seems. The goat spinning around your character. Let's gather some more while those are spawned. Okay, I should have waited a bit more. And they just keep coming. Let's give those a bit more time to appear. I did not change my gear to goblin gear. I'll have to do that once I get to the town. So after this map I'm gonna go and change to my goblin armors and stuff. How much is my FPS? Not my FPS, but my DPS drop. Seems like I'm losing around 1k DPS on paper when I'm using the Kylie's weapon.
You don't have enough mana.
I still have some goblin defense though, because I'm using I think 2 goblin items, or just 1 goblin item. This one. So I have some fire defense at least.
Insufficient mana.
Accidentally picked up a white item, but it happens every now and then. I'm trying not to pick up the white gear, just so I don't end up having to again find something to do with all the gold. Forward to them adding new things to spend our gold on, besides fort decorations and maps. Hopefully enchanting smokes and some stuff like that would require gold. One thing is for sure, resurrection would be a good way to drain your gold if you keep dying. I'm wondering if they're planning a defense mode, like a survival, wave survival mode, with checkpoints every 5 levels where you can either continue defending or take your wood. And with like max 30 waves or 40 waves or something, just to have a limit where it finally ends, something similar to what Green Down has. It would be fun to have something like this later on, for open beta or WoW. A place where you can put your build to the test.
Your mana is low.
Okay, managed to get the shaman first. He did resurrect someone though, before he died. Still have no idea whether I can get XP and wood from resurrected enemies, but most likely I can. Okay, stage 2. War excavated mines. Oh, lethal. Okay. maybe streaming in 60p should not be done by me. Probably do some 30p streaming for my second part of the stream after a few hours when I restart it.
You need more mana.
Cause it seems when I do 60p streaming, it eventually every now and then does those freezes. Even when I'm not doing mapception now, cause I'm not doing the mapception way of farming, but I still see those freezes every now and then, and yesterday I think I didn't see them at all. Like this now, that was just a demonstration of that. Streamlabs released new thing for streamers called Woods, which I guess for small streamers like me it's pointless to use. But it basically, you decide on a portion of your screen where a small window appears, and people can just put some special messages and play some ads. I don't think I'll be trying it soon. Might try some recordings and testings internally to see if I can see how it works. And it's not like the Twitch ads where the home gameplay is stopped for that. So they're clever for doing that. I've been seeing Streamlabs trying to squeeze every bit of profit for their streamers from different ways. And they're also giving away a lot of stuff. Like if you guys are streamers, Streamlabs OBS now has something called All Stars, which is basically a bunch of giveaways. And depending on how developed your stream is, how many viewers and etc you have, you can enter better and better giveaways. So it's something good for streamers. Like they're giving away games like Borderlands 3, the new Ghost Recon, or whatever, Wildlands I think it's called, Tom Clancy's Wildlands. They're giving away sometimes whole PC configurations for like $3-5K, which is wow. They made something that handles merchandise for the streamers, which as soon as I manage to make a decent logo that my viewers would really enjoy and like, that is like signature logo for me, I'll probably try and put some merch for whoever wants to buy something with that logo if they like. But that's in the future for me for now. I'll have to make some polls when I'm ready to see if the viewers are interested in such stuff appearing. Okay, there's an invisible wall here I can't pass, so I'll have to come the way I arrived. And the fun thing about that merge stories, Streamlabs handles everything, creating the items, not the items, the goods. So they're creating the merch, like printing the logos on them, sending them to the buyers, and the only thing the streamer has to do is just set up the shop and pick the pricing, and that's it. And there is a minimum pricing, which is the cost that Streamlabs have put, their own profit. So if you guys are streamers, that's a pretty neat thing to have in your arsenal. And this is, by the way, not a paid promo. I'm just like that. When I like something, I don't mind telling people about it. There are still some bugs with the software though. Like, I still can't get my Streamlabs bot to work properly, so I had to resort to getting a standalone different bot for my chat awards. I even contacted their support. They gave me some suggestions how to fix it. Neither worked, and since my last reply that it couldn't fix the issue, no one replied to me, so there's that. And it's definitely something on their end, since if my phantom bot can send chat awards without a problem, and the Streamlabs bot, both the built-in and the standalone one, don't send the chat awards, then something on their end needs to be done to restore and fix that. Okay, finally getting to the good part of this map where the boss. This is one of my favorite bosses to do on my Railmaster. Okay, the pet needs to go sell. Because I can tango around him with my hammer spin. And he's very slow. When you go behind him with a hammer spin, he takes some time to turn. So it's pretty fun to do that to him. Now I don't have my pet. I've even done experiments letting my pet kill the boss by its own. It's fun. I would have done it now, but my pet's selling stuff. So let's use my relic weapon. Let's just...
You don't have enough money.
I'm even using the wrong potions. I need to do something like this.
Your inventory is full.
So, okay. Inventory full. Let's delete some shit. And this is not good. This is not good. Nor is this. Let's go to my fort and change my gear to goblin gear now. Just to make things a bit easier to complete. The whole mapping process to me seems a bit too slow paced. It is easy, it's okay, but it's too slow, the whole process of doing maps. If you compare it to games with Path of Exile where people were all about speed runs and everything. Here even if you try to do a speed run, it's limited by the movement speed and everything. And by the delay when monsters are spawning and appearing from their different caves and stuff. So if you're trying to speed run a map here, you'll find yourself standing in front of a hut or a cave where the monsters are showing up from. You just have to wait for them to just appear one by one or two by two. So it seems like this game is not designed for a speedrun mentality. It's designed for just a chill run mentality, so to say. And my pet is back, finally. How many skill points have I got? 1200. I can either keep leveling this or try and unlock some new skills. I'll probably try and collect 2000 to try different skills. I really want to try an entropy build and maybe spirit well. So let's try and unlock entropy today. And now let's go to the next.
insufficient mana.
This looked kinda nice when you froze that. When I froze that netherling, he looked like glowing slightly in blue and stuff due to the tube.
You need mana.
For a second there I thought, is that a new type of netherling? That's ice enchanted or This is actually my favorite map, especially when I'm leveling up a character. So much XP in it. It's so nice to breeze through that map. Not many twists and turns, just farm it the way you want. And it's full of goblins, so a lot of potential drops. Let's get them to spawn. With this character I can't play goblin bowling like I do with my Railmaster with Ghost Train. I still gather the mobs like in one spot and just energy spike them. But it's not the same because I have to spam the skill a few times. Okay, did we clear everything here? Maybe we missed a group around that end here. Or maybe we didn't, okay. My bad. I really wish I could track where I've been. Or see some uncleared spawn places on the map. Doing a double health map. Okay, legendary. So after this map we're gonna swap heroes and we're gonna do Hybrid Frontier on the Railmaster. This took just a few runs. Was it like second map? I think it's the second map we're doing. I also forgot to change back to Goblin gear again. That's probably why I'm taking so much damage. If this is any good, we can just use it. It is nice, but I really wish there was, instead of cooldown for Dark Spears, extra gear work. The rest is pretty decent though. More damage for Unholy Bolt, 22.5 even. Let me just check the damage on Unholy Bolt now. Well, 91.9, that doesn't seem correct. Let me remove Unholy Bolt for a second. $91.9, okay, and without this 75. It's still what, almost 20%. But it seems nerfed. The other day I was getting 116% of Unholy Bolt damage when I had 16% increase. So I don't know why it suddenly got nerfed so badly. Maybe I had some other items that were giving me damage from Holy Bolt. I'll have to check. I think my Goblin setup has 100 and something percent on Holy Bolt damage. If I could restart the stream with without having to actually restart it, just to change the frames per second, I probably would reduce it to 30 FPS. What I could do is I could quickly stop it, change the frames per second and restart it. But maybe I can do that later when I'm doing a break for food. And is my crit chance glitched? 25%, yeah, it's glitched, it should be 40%. Okay, now it's fixed. I was wondering why I wasn't critting it off. At least every time I cast this skill, at least one of the skills should give me a crit. One of the spikes that hit him. Because I think it's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spikes or so. Yeah, mostly at least one of the spikes crits. There's very few cases where neither of the spikes that hit the mob would be normal hits. And a haste shrine, really enjoying when I get one. Seems like a Wiki map. Legendary drop, a wad of blues. Try and kill every mob. And they're double HP, so they're actually dying twice as slow they normally would. Didn't know there's more left here. We're also getting a bunch of skill points and some invisible walls. Can I snipe that guy? Keeps moving. Oh, he got sniped. He actually walked into this projectile by himself. And proper trick shots there. But if you guys know some interesting shooters, third person or first person shooters to recommend, especially if they're free to play, really looking forward to showing you how bad I am at shooters. I tried the other day, I think on Wednesday, actually on Tuesday I tried, but the game's performance was just abysmal, so I had to stop streaming it. I tried some Splitgate arena stream. Oh, nice, let me use my DPS up. Are those glitched? Seems like they are. Okay. Are they patching or something for me to get disconnected? Okay, just a sec. Failed to log in. Please wait. Maybe there's something with the server. Let's do this. Let me quickly try and restart my launcher and try to restart the game from it and see how it goes. I had to swap my character anyways, so it's not as bad, but didn't plan on restarting the game as well. We couldn't log you in, please try again later. I think there's something with the servers. Let me check on this. Well, okay guys, it seems like the server is down. So let's end the stream and I'll restart it as soon as I notice the servers getting back. I really apologize for this inconvenience, but not much I can do. They're probably doing some maintenance or whatever on a Sunday. But it seems like something unplanned that suddenly happened. So whatever it is, I'll stop the stream for now. Thanks everyone who joined.